Muy buenas. I'm Patrick Velasquez. This is a San Diego Concilio commentary. Today is October 27th, 2022. On October 18th, our only San Diego newspaper, the Union Tribune, published an article about racist, anti-Mexican remarks spoken by a white professor in the chemistry and biochemistry department at UC San Diego. During his professor's chemistry lecture, he apparently became upset about noise in the hallway outside his classroom. As a video taken by a student in his classroom documented, the professor walked into the hallway and uttered racist remarks, ridiculing the Spanish-speaking staff he confronted. He then returned to the classroom and asked his students, "How do you say quiet in Mexican?" Then, to make matters worse, he told his students, "Tell me if you see them," referring to the Mexicano staff, "bringing their weapons." Their weapons. This so-called professor, in his racist commentary, should have been fired immediately. Instead, there were meek apologies posted on the website of the UCSD Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Elizabeth Simmons, who has never lifted a finger to improve conditions for Chicanos on the UCSD campus. One apology was written by the chair and vice chair of the UCSD Chemistry and Biochemistry Department. Somewhat later, this professor who made the racist anti-Mexican comments, whose name is Robert Ternansky, posted his own weak apology on a UCSD website. According to the UCSD Guardian, the student newspaper that actually broke the story at UCSD, Ternansky is a veteran lecturer employed by UCSD for some time now, so he has undoubtedly done untold damage to underrepresented students of color at UCSD. As Chicanos that expect a public university like UCSD to serve our community in an anti-racist manner, we have to ask ourselves, how does this happen in 2022? Why does a professor with a racist attitude think that he can so comfortably make racist remarks about Mexicans at a public university paid for by our tax dollars? I worked at UCSD from 1989 to 2017, for 28 years, as a lecturer and a student affairs administrator. I can attest to countless racist incidents that have occurred at UCSD. And of course, many of us remember the series of racist incidents on campus during the so-called Black Winter of 2010, a history that UCSD's leadership still denies. There was one interesting element in the apologies posted by UCSD after this racist incident. The two administrators of the chemistry and biochemistry department stated that UCSD must still work, and I quote, to eliminate structural and systemic racism at UCSD, unquote. Let that sink in. UCSD still must work to eliminate its own structural and systemic racism. Truer words were never spoken, and not by me, but by the two UCSD academic administrators. The sad truth is that UCSD Chancellor Pradeep Khoslaw and his so-called Chief Diversity Officer, Becky Pettit, have failed to ensure safe and equitable conditions for Chicanos at UCSD. Let's look at UCSD. Among the 11 public colleges and universities in San Diego, UCSD remains the only one that has not achieved Hispanic serving institution status. That means that their student enrollment is less than 25% Chicano Latino, in a county that is 35% Latino and a state that is 40% Latino. In addition, the faculty at UCSD is less than 8% Chicano Latino. That is pathetic, totally unacceptable for a public university in California. There is no Chicano Latino Studies department or major at UCSD, only a small, unfunded, unsupported minor program. No wonder this professor thinks that it's safe for him to make racist remarks about Mexicans in a classroom that includes Chicano students. Clearly, when white students and faculty can see that UCSD's chancellor and chief diversity officer will accept structural systemic racism and institutional racism, then those students and faculty also believe that it's acceptable to make racist remarks and commit racist acts on the UCSD campus. Later, it was reported that Professor Ternansky was suspended by UCSD for the rest of fall quarter. Does that mean that he'll return to terrorize Chicano students in the winter quarter that starts in about 2 months? As I said, he should be fired now. Our San Diego Concilio has said this many times for over 30 years now. UC San Diego must be held accountable to the Chicano Latino community. And our state and federal legislators need to stop the endless flow of our tax dollars to UCSD until they develop and implement a plan to end the institutional racism that is UCSD's defining characteristic. This is a San Diego Concilio commentary. Muchas gracias.